Have you ever been so exhausted you're just, I don't know, your life just feels like you can't live it anymore, and you push and you push and you push, and then you get to a point maybe where you can't push, or you go to the doctor, of course, and they run all these tests and they say, you're fine, you know, you're tired, rest, you know, but maybe you can't rest, maybe you're not getting good quality sleep, and time goes on, and then all of a sudden you're feeling older and you're feeling achy, and you know, maybe you're getting sick more easily. There's a lot of things associated with this, so I'm gonna try to very much encapsulate the last year or so of my life where I basically got into a chronic fatigue situation. And yes, you can say that, you know, I was building the California clinic when we moved into our new building, and I was the project manager, even though I had absolutely no training as a project manager. So, you know, I'd wake up at the crack of dawn and talk to everybody who was working on the project, and then at the end of my full day at work, I would talk to everybody again, and basically never took a day off. And I actually love what I do, so this was never a trial. And then we were building the Florida clinic, which is where I'm talking to you from now, and just, you know, life and being super busy and really not taking any me time, which I'm not good at anyway. But here's what I do have is now I'm in my 60s. One gets one's adrenal health, which is your stress gland health, and your mitochondrial function, apparently genetically from your mother. And my mother had terrible both of these. And when I did genetic testing, we do genetic testing here at the clinic, to look at what's called your SNPs, little defects you get from mom and dad that kind of might set you up for certain issues. And when I did them, at least a decade or so ago, there were these little indications of, well, you know, should you be under a lot of stress, then this might happen, and this might happen, and this might happen, and this might happen. And actually my health history was I was not a healthy child. I worked very hard for my health. I do not have a fast metabolism by any stretch of the imagination. I very much practice what I preach. I exercise almost every day. I very easily gain weight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Fine. Again, love what I do, and I love feeling great, but I know what it's like to feel terrible. And in my teens and 20s, I was like that. So now fast forward 4 decades, and suddenly here I am again. And not anymore, I'm past it. But there I was, and all of a sudden I was, instead of, you know, I used to joke that, oh, 5 o'clock, most of the staff is leaving. Great, let me get to work. And then I'd work for the next 2.5 hours. And I'd cook dinner every night for my family. I love cooking. That was my relaxed time. And then suddenly at 5 o'clock, I was ready to go home. And then all of a sudden it was, you know, at 4 o'clock, I was ready to go home. Anyway, long story short, did some blood tests, nothing dramatic showed up. Finally found the Epstein-Barr virus, which is the virus you get when you have mono. We've learned a lot about viruses during the pandemic, but they're always there. So we've been exposed to a lot of viruses. They're always in our system, which can freak some people out. It shouldn't. Viruses are kept under control by a healthy immune system, but if your immune system goes down, you get in a weakened state, pop, out they come, and that's what mine did. The Epstein-Barr popped out after 4+ decades, because I had it probably when I was 17. I had a really bad case of mono, actually. So that popped out, and basically I was just exhausted. I couldn't keep up with my life anymore. And so I did a very in-depth nutritional program. My diet, you know, there's really nothing to change about my diet. It was more just realizing that I kind of burnt myself out, basically, and the virus was opportunistically taking advantage of that. So did a very extensive nutritional program. After about 5-6 months, then I did IVs. We were kind of newly bringing IVs into the clinic. So I did the UVBI, so that's UV light and ozone, and that helps kill viruses and Lyme, etc. So I did that. I got a nice boost from that. And during this time, I gained 20 pounds, which I've literally weighed, I had weighed the exact same amount since the day I was married. I've been married 35 years, and suddenly I was 20 pounds heavier. And it really was sudden. It came on very quickly as soon as I stopped doing my life and moving around, just like shot up, which has always been the tendency. I just never let it get out of control, but there was nothing I could do. I literally was eating the same, and I just, you know, it just flew on. And so I very much always understand patients when they say, I changed nothing and the weight came on. And it's like, your body's under stress and it's holding on to every calorie that you're eating, and it's really slowed your metabolic rate down because it's into protect mode and hold mode. So I heard my own words in my head, which did not make me an ounce happier, because my entire wardrobe is the exact same size, so nothing fit. I wasn't really going anywhere, so it hardly mattered. So yoga pants and a lot of rest and taking a lot of vitamins. Full disclosure, I'm not very good at swallowing tablets. I'm great at capsules, so I had to actually learn how to swallow the best multiple that we have, which is big but so worth it. So taught myself how to do that, and came back. And you know, a lot of people said, oh, you know, you don't look fat, so don't worry about it. And I was like, no, I know I can get myself back to where I've always been, and I want to be ideally healthy, because I know I can do that. And I'm sharing this only because I'm very happy to say that I am back, and you know, sleeping actually better than ever. So I learned a lot of good things. I learned breathing techniques to relax that I had never done in my life. I got a Whoop band. There's Aura rings. There's a lot of things that you can help as far as seeing what your sleep is doing. And I really learned that even though I put myself to bed for enough hours every night, my quality wasn't that good. And so I learned how to improve that. I've been back to exercising every day for actually almost probably 9 months now. And it took time to finally get my weight back to where it's always been. So that's there, and I'm back in my wardrobe, which makes me happy. But mostly what makes me happy is the fact that regaining one's health despite bad genetics and some other challenges that I had just by the nature of you know, mom and dad, and that was it. Certainly not my diet. I worked really hard on that. But yeah, so just predispositions. But instead of saying, well, I'm predisposed and there's a lot of obesity in my family, so I gained 20 pounds and let's buy a new wardrobe. And you know, these are not, I'm not trying to fault anybody who just says, okay, well, I'm in my 60s now, whatever. All I'm saying is great health is worth the fight. And I literally have just come out of a year-plus fight. And I wanted to share my success with you, because that's what we live for here at the clinic. And we have these tools. And I don't care how old you are. I don't care how bad your genetics are. If you're willing to fight for it, we're willing to fight with you. So if your health is not the way you want it to be, please give us a call. By the way, if you like this channel, please subscribe and share it with others.